Okay, boys, today we're going to discuss something about leadership. In honor of Joey Harari, we're going to speak something about leadership. How to become a leader. And we're going to go through the Torah and see 3 steps to be a leader. Whether you're a father, mother, a doctor, whatever you are in life, a rabbi. And that is, first step is, we learn from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, he says, in Parashat Pinchas, he speaks about Hashem praying. Rabbi Yosef brings it down in his Sefer, by the way. He says, he asks a question, he says, why was it that Pinchas prays for a leader of Klal Yisrael? Now he prays in Parashat, he's not dying in Parashat Pinchas, Moshe. Usually when a person's on his way out, he prays to God, Hashem, listen, at the end of the day, my job is over, make sure the Jews have an amazing leader. That's when, before he dies.
Who's this?
Moshe Rabbeinu. But Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't ask before he dies. He asks much. We see from the Torah. We see he started asking for a leader in Parashat Pinchas. Why? So Hamadiyah, he writes in his sefer. He quotes another sefer. He says, because we saw the great reward that Pinchas had, and Moshe was scared maybe a Zelite, a Kana'i, is going to be the next leader of Klal Yisrael. And that is scary. That's scary because, I'll give you an example. If you're a leader and all of a sudden somebody does something wrong, right away you start, this guy's out, you start ripping him, you start killing him. I'll give you an example. There was a guy in our shul, by us, he was a new guy, he just came in. Tshuva guy, he just came in. And he started praying Shabbat, and one of the guys in the shul came over to me, and he says, Rabbi, you gotta tell him to keep quiet. He's talking too much in shul, he's this, he's that. So I looked at him, I said, listen, if I would go ahead and slam him right away, you're talking, get out of here, you can't do this, if you don't stop talking, we can't have this in the shul. What is the guy gonna do, Joe? The guy's going to automatically walk out. I can't. This is ridiculous. Right? Because a leader has to know how to act to each individual. That's a true leader. A true leader knows how to, not just, oh yeah, right, he's doing something wrong, zap him. Yeah. No. You have patience. You have to know how to deal with each individual. That's a true leader. And that's what Moshe Rabbeinu was praying. He says, Moshe was praying from the get-go. We can't have a Zelite. Every single little thing the guy doesn't zap him. You know what's going on over here? That's the first lesson as a leader. To reach out to each individual to see what his need is. And not to be a zealot right away, you're out. Second one. Says, we look in the Pasuk, and I'm not quoting the whole Pasuk, but the Pasuk speaks out that when Moshe Rabbeinu's praise for the leadership, for somebody, the next leader in line, he says, Katzon, he uses the lashon of like Katzon, meaning to say that the Jewish people need a shepherd to lead them. They need a next leader, and he uses the word, it should say Ketzon. Like sheep, it says Katzon. And the rabbis, Doresh, why do you say Katzon? The rabbis teach us that there could be in life a leader, but he has to know. He has to do what's good for the people. He has to see what's good for the masses, for the people, for the individual, not necessarily for himself. For example, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a boss. You have an owner of a company. So the owner of the company, he's the leader of the company. So he might say, right now I'm doing a decision, but that decision only benefits himself. And he doesn't care about his employees. See, that's selfish leader. Because a real leader understands when I'm making my decision right now, I'm having in mind all the people. And that's a manhig. That's a true emet guider. Because he looks towards the people what to do that's right. A doctor, you go to a doctor, the guy might say, oh, listen, I can make a crazy paycheck right now. Oh, you know what, you have this, you have that. But what's good for the patient? Forget your paycheck. What's good for the patient? That's a leader. That's a leader. You have a rabbi who wants to learn the Kabbalah right now. Be careful. What about your students? Do your students are on that level of Kabbalah? Fine. If they are, they are. But you have to do what's good for the student. You have to do what's good for the people. And that's a true leader. That's the second lesson we learn from leadership. Second lesson we learn from leadership is what? Is he has to understand, even though his decision will benefit him, he has to make the right decision that will benefit the person that you are leading. That's a leader. The third is, we learned this from Yosef HaTzadik. And listen to the last point that we're bringing out, which is a massive, massive ingredient to be a leader. And that is, no matter what situation the leader is in, even if he's in a down situation, he still always has to be guiding. And let me explain. Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik is in jail, correct? Yes or no, Joe? He's in jail. He's in jail. Now, what happens? The Torah goes out of his way and says, technically speaking, what got him out of the whole jail? The fact that he was interpreting the dream that Sarah Mashkim, Sarah Ofim, he interpreted it well for the Sarah Mashkim, and boom, he was able to get out free. So really, the Torah should just say, oh yeah, Yosef was able to interpret the dream well for the Sarah Mashkim, and he got out and he went to tell Paro about Yosef. But it doesn't say that in the Torah. You know what the Torah says? The Torah goes out of its way and says, one day Yosef saw the people what? He was down. His face was down. So he asked him, why are you so sad? Why are you so sad? And through that, he was able to become the right-hand man of Egypt, the second in line of the king, Paro, and then you have Yosef controlling the whole entire world. Why? Because Hashem Borei Olam saw, this is a true leader. Yosef is in prison. For all he knows, he could say, you know what? I'm in prison. I have to worry about somebody else right now? I have to worry about anybody else? I have to worry about myself. Look at my situation. Look where I'm in. I'm in jail. I have to see the welfare of these people that are in jail that's sad. I have to ask them how they're doing. And Yosef was in his nature. He had it built in him. You know what he had built in him? He had built in him that he knows whatever situation that he's in, he understands I have to care about the people. And that's a real leader. Whatever situation that the leader is in, I still have to do my due diligence to help out and see what he needs, even though my situation is not the best, but I have to still feel what's the best for his situation. These are the three ingredients of a leader. One, you gotta have patience with the people. You can't be a zealot. He's doing something wrong, write him off, X him out, he's done. Two, you have to see what the person needs. See what his need is, not what you're needing, what he needs. And three, no matter what situation you're in, the leader is in,